This is the Finance Doctor with the Phoenix Group. We specialize in financial problems. If you're dealing with repossession, foreclosure, garnishment, or any financial problem, give us a call at 1-877-446-1664. That number again is 1-877-446-1664 for the help you need. We specialize in financial problems.
Have to go anywhere because this is the Talk B. Jones and
the Talk B. Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones, and I want to thank you very much for joining us today on the Talk B. Jones. Remember, the Talk B. Jones, we're on the air live each Wednesday. That's from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. every Wednesday. And again, we can be seen on a Sunday. That time is 4 p.m. on 15.2. That's 15.2 on a Sunday. So remember, you can see the Talk B. Jones. We're live 10 a.m. until 11 on Wednesday, and a broadcast is also on Sundays from 4 p.m. until 5 on 15.2. Remember, family, you can also go to TV33 WHPR. Let's do it this way. Go to YouTube, TV33 WHPR, and you can watch us on any time, 24 hours a day. The programs that we produce today, you can go back and you can watch them anytime. Tell your friends. Go to YouTube, TV33 on demand, and pick up the programs, because again, things we're going to say today is so important that you're going to want to share this program. You're going to want to share it. You're going to want to utilize it. And I'm going to give you a number early that you can call and get this information that's going to be forthcoming to you. That number, get your pen and your paper ready. That number is 1-877 446-1664. This will get you directly connected to the Finance Doctor. And we're going to bring on the Finance Doctor so that you can get your financial house in order. Finance Doctor, are you ready to talk on the Talk B. Jones?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Well, Finance Doctor, this is your show today. And, you know, we have folks around the world that want to find out how to get their credit, how to get their finances in order. And so I know that as I review my package here, I see that we have at least about 10 or 12 different points that you want to cover. So once you start rolling, we're going to let you just bring out this information, because I too will be taking notes. And from time to time, to get my financial house in order, I may have a question or two to ask that maybe someone in the audience is thinking themselves. Okay?
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay, so family, I want you to get ready to prepare to listen to the Finance Doctor on the Talk B. Jones. Remember, we're here for you around the world on TV33, WHPR, WHPS. And let's go with the Finance Doctor.
This is the Finance Doctor with the Phoenix Group. We specialize in financial problems. If you're dealing with repossession, foreclosure, garnishment, or any financial problem, give us a call at 1-877-446-1664. That number again is 1-877-446-1664 for the help you need. We specialize in financial problems.
All right. Financial Doctor, we're ready to hear from you. Give us some help. Give us some help. Give us some help, because, again, we're all in trouble with our finances. It's on you, Doc.
Yeah, this is the Finance Doctor coming to you this morning live on the Billy Jones TV program out of Detroit, Michigan. Glad to be with you all this morning. And I want to share a story, if you will, Billy. The Lord put this on my heart. I want to share two stories.
Yes, sir.
To set the mood for what we're going to be doing in the next hour. That was, listen closely And if you will, get pen and paper for me
Okay.
to take notes.
Okay.
I always tell my people to take notes.
I'm going to do it
And
too.
if you will, date it, which is December the 4th, 2024.
You know, Herr Doctor,
2024.
yesterday, December the 3rd was my birthday. So I'm getting all
your
this.
birthday yesterday?
Yes, sir. So, I mean, this is right on time for me to get my life and everything in order for 2025.
That is super. That is super. How about that?
Yes,
Happy
sir.
birthday to you.
God is
Happy
good.
birthday.
God is good.
Absolutely. Let me share this story. This story was told to me about 45 years ago. And I repeat this story. I'm going to tell two stories.
Okay.
They have a marvel to them, the reason I want to tell them. This first story, and you may have heard about this one, Billy, I'm not for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that was three gods, small g gods. And they had this special gift that they did not want humanity to discover this gift. Have you ever heard that story, Bill?
No, sir. Please explain to us so we can have a total background on this.
All right, let me tell you this story. It has stuck with me all my life, from a young man to even now. That were three gods, and these were small g's, not the capital G.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this great gift that they did not want humanity to discover this great gift. So they were talking among themselves, what can we do with this great gift that humanity would never discover yet? And one said, this is what we can do with it. We can take it and put it in the deepest ocean. And man would never discover this great gift. And one said, no, we cannot do that. He said, why can't we put it in the deepest ocean? He said, because man eventually one day will build submarines and go to the depths of the sea, and they will discover this great gift. And they thought for a minute, and another one said, I tell you what we could do with this great gift, that mankind will never discover this great gift. Let's take it and put it on the farthest planets in the universe. And they thought for a minute and came back, so we can't do that. So why can't we do that? He said, well, man eventually will build spaceships and travel the universe and will discover this great gift. So we can't put it there. And they thought, and one said, I got it. He said, what can we do with this great gift? He said, we're going to put this great gift into man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're going to put it inside of man. Man will look all of their lives for success, happiness, peace of mind, and all of the things that would make life great on the outside when it will be fine on the inside.
Okay.
It's your potential.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every person has the potential to become whatever they desire to become out of that potential in life. You have to develop your potential, your talents, your ability. You have to develop it day after day after day after day after day. Now that's story number one. I'm going to hold this second story about the eagle at the end of the program.
Okay.
So that story was to encourage you. Whatever you are dealing with, whatever you are facing, God has put within each and every one of us
Yes.
the potential
Yes.
to overcome all of those obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he wanted to start it out with that story this morning.
Yes, sir.
Don't give up. Don't you think you are defeated, because you are not. And we are heading into a new year. And boy, this is perfect time. And not only Billy's birthday, but we are heading into a new year. So we want to share a lot of information with you this morning. Now, this overall program will call Living Your Best Life.
Yes. Yes.
I want you to write that down for me.
Wait, just a
Living
moment.
your
Let me get
best
my
life.
pen. You
That
say,
is
living my best life.
living your best life. Please put that on your paper. This is your day today.
Yes.
Living your best life. And we call it the Increase Program. The Increase Program. And we have three areas of concentration on this Increase Program. Now, let me tell you what we're going to do today. And we're going to take our time. We got 45 to 50 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We have three different concentrations of increase on our program. We have spiritual freedom, we have mental freedom, and we have financial freedom.
Could I get those again, please?
Let me repeat those again. We have spiritual freedom,
Spiritual. Mm-hmm.
mental freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and financial freedom.
Yes,
and
sir.
in each one of those development programs, you will grow in those areas and become a rounded person by growing in each one of those areas. And today, we will be talking about financial freedom.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully in the next couple of months or couple of weeks, whenever TV Thursday decides, we can come back and talk about mental freedom and spiritual freedom, because there are several steps in each one of those areas for development. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And that's the foundation of what we're going to do. Please get pen and paper for me. I'd like for you to like us on Facebook as we get started. Like us, Lonnie Bowman Sr. That's LONNIE BOWMAN Senior on Facebook. Like or follow us on Facebook.
Now I'm writing that down again. Can I get that? that am I going through Lonnie? Can you spell everything out again, please?
Yes, LONNIE
Mm-hmm.
BOWMAN
Mm-hmm.
Senior.
Okay. That's just SR.
Facebook.
Okay.
SR, that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
You can also follow us on the Institute on Facebook as well. That's THE
THE.
INSTITUTES.
Can you do that again, please?
THE
Mm-hmm.
INSTITUTES.
UT. Ooh, that's a lot.
That's the Institute. So you can follow us, and when you go on the Facebook page, you're going to see a lot of material that you can get plugged into.
Okay.
If you will. Okay.
All right.
All right. So I want you to take notes. And some of these things that we're going to talk about financially this morning, I want you to begin to understand that you can move from whatever situation you're in by taking action. And we're going to help you to do that. Take the action to address whatever you're dealing with and make them better. Okay?
Okay.
Regardless of what you're dealing with financially, you can make it better. Now, let's start out this morning dealing with the first item of review. We call it the credit review.
Mm-hmm.
The institutes, the banks, credit unions, loan companies, they have a standard credit score requirement that they look for clients who have that score to take out loans. And that score normally will be a 620 or 640. That's an average score.
Okay.
Now here's what a wise steward would do.
Okay.
Now, this is a wise steward.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Listen to me closely. We are living under what we call a capitalistic system of government.
Yes.
Capitalistic means finance and money. If you don't know the rules of how to navigate the system, you cannot participate in the system correctly. You need to know the rules. I said that to say that. Now you can check your credit with these apps anytime you want to, and most of them are free.
Okay.
There is no reason for a person today, 2024, not to know their scores at all.
Mm-hmm.
They are free now. You can check them. You don't have to go to no bank. You don't have to go to no dealer. You don't have to go to no loan company to check your scores now. So you should know. Here's my point. A smart and wise person, if you have a 530 score and the bank requires a 620 or 640, what's going to happen to you if you go down to apply for a loan?
You're going to be denied.
You're going to be denied. You should know that before you go to these institutions and give them your information and they tell you something about your credit that you should have known before you went to that institution. That's a smart consumer.
Okay.
So my wish this morning, as we get into this financial foundation and getting your financial house in order, would to set a goal that you know exactly where you stand credit-wise. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And you have 3 depositories that house your information. You have Equifax, TransUnion, and also Experian. You have Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And here's a question that a lot of people ask. They said, finance doctor, tell me this. Why is it that my score in Equifax could be a 595 and my score in TransUnion could be a 602 and my score in Experian could be a 620? Why is that? Why is it different? Well, here's the reason. Each one of those databases that generate a score on you will have different information in that system on you that cause your score to be different.
Okay.
That's the reason you would have different scores in each one of those databases. Okay?
Yes.
I would advise you with these apps that you can put on your smartphone. You can check your scores to see whether or not you're a victim of identity theft. And it's not a real big issue anymore with identity theft, but it does happen. But you will be able to check instantly to see whether or not your scores have gone down for any unauthorized activity. So I encourage you to please utilize the app on your phone. It can be a Android, or it can be a iPhone. It doesn't matter. And check your scores. That's number one. Number 2 will be loan review. Let's talk about loans.
Yes, sir.
Now, here's an interesting observation about loans. Now, listen to me closely. If you have taken out an automobile loan, a personal loan, and you had let's say a 595 credit score, and you was granted the loan at probably a secondary finance place. Now, let me explain to you secondary and primary. Primary in dealing with finance would be your bank, your credit union, those institutions are what we call primary. Anything other than that would be what we call secondary. I'm not going to give names of secondary, but here's the difference between the two. The banks will require the 620 or 640 to get a loan, but their interest rate is going to be cheaper. It'll be a lot cheaper on borrowing money than the secondary finance source. So if you took out a loan when you had a 590 score and it was a secondary, you need to check your rate.
So that's why when you got these places say that we can get anybody financed, they're using the. Help me understand that, doctor. Finance doctor.
That's the reason. They have a program. Let me give you a real example. Take for instance Tyler Park. I don't know whether you have those in Detroit or not, but you have them all over the country. Payday loans in Tyler Park.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tyler Park will, if you have collateral, they will give you a loan irregardless of your credit.
Yes.
Most clients who go to those places will have credit issues that cause that they cannot get a loan from secondary and they cannot get a loan from primary. But they can get a loan from the tied upon places, but your rate is going to be astronomical. I see.
Uh-huh. I see.
They really don't go by credit scores. They go by collateral and go ahead and give you the money, but you will pay a lot higher rate than the secondary and the primary.
Can you give us an
Go ahead.
example of the difference in terms of percentage rates between the different systems?
Yes, we can. On the average, if you go with primary, for instance, this is what we encourage our clients to do.
Okay.
This is getting your financial house in order.
Mhm.
This is what we advise. Pre-planning that I'm going to get me a car and 12 months from now. A wife to it. I'm going to check my scores and see where I stand. And I'm going to put in place, instead of getting my financing from the dealership, I want to make arrangement with my bank, primary, and also make arrangement with my credit union
Mm-hmm.
for my purchase. Why? Because the interest rate, to answer your question, the interest rate at those institutions would be probably between 6% and 10%. In between that gap, between 6 to 10%. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That's primary. That's with a credit score of 620 and 640. Now, if you have a score below 600, you would have to go to secondary financing. Secondary rate can range from 12 up to 24%.
Wow.
That's the difference between primary and secondary, and this is why we encourage every person who live and participate in capitalism, borrowing money, that you try to get the best and the cheapest rate you possibly can. We used to use an example in my live seminar years ago. You would have two buyers, and each buyer will be looking basically at the same car. For instance, it can be a 2024 Chevy Malibu. Go with me on this. I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Listen to me closer. I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you two examples. The new one is listed out for $29,900. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
$29,999. That's a new one.
Yes.
You have a used one on the lot that 24 has 5,000 miles on it, and it lists for $19.95. And I asked a question, and I'm asking my audience today a question: which one would you purchase?
Mm-hmm.
Will you purchase the one with no miles on it at $29.95, or will you buy the same Yamaha, the same color, same equipment, but has 5,000 miles on it for $19? That's $10,000 difference.
I would think if I had the choice of both the same model, same color and everything, etc., that the one for $19,000 would be a better deal, because when you buy a brand new one, as soon as you drive it off the lot, the depreciation sets in. Is that correct?
Well, you got it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have the same warranty. You have the same car, basically. And when you buy the one with 5,000 miles on it, up to 10,000 miles, you don't suffer depreciation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's a smart purchase.
Okay.
That's why we advise all of our clients, if you're going to get an automobile, look for one with low mileage and save the difference, because when you do financing now, I remember years ago you could pay for a new car in 24 months. I'm 75, so I've been around a long time.
Okay.
And I remember when you could do 24 months, 36 months, 48 months, 60 months, 72 months.
Mm-hmm.
You see where they're going?
Yes, sir.
84 months to pay for that same car,
Mm-hmm.
because they're accommodating the inflation on the price of cars. But to buy the used one would be a better deal. Now let's talk about the interest rate, not just the purchase price.
Yes.
How well you save on the interest rate. And a lot of clients, this is a no-no. This is a no-no.
Hey, doctor, let me ask you a question. I mean, finance doctor. I was looking in my head. Would it be possible for us to do a quick break and we can revisit this conversation in its entirety when we come back from this commercial break, because it's about time for us to check in. And I think this would be a good time so that the people can get prepared to get this great information. So
go right ahead.
Okay. So family, this is the Talk B. Jones show. However, today we have the wonderful, great one himself, the finance doctor, showing you how to get your finances in order, your house in order financial wise. So we're going to take a commercial break on the Talk B. Jones show, and we'll be back shortly. Remember, Talk B. Jones, we're on air every Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. We also have the program on Sundays from 4 to 5 on 15.2. You can go to YouTube, TV33, on TV33 on demand, and you can pick up this show as well as other shows that we do 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year. We'll be back shortly on the Talk B. Jones with the Finance Doctor.
This is the Talk B. Jones, and
This is the Finance Doctor with the Phoenix Group. We specialize in financial problems. If you are dealing with repossession, foreclosure, garnishment, or any financial problem, give us a call at 1-877-446-1664. That number again is 1-877-446-1664 for the help you need. We specialize in financial problems.
Watkins Broadcasting is going worldwide. Now you can watch Detroit's own WHPR on your TV from anywhere in the world. No matter where you are, you can stay in the know with WHPR TV and Roku. You can get your easy-to-install Roku box from wherever you shop for your entertainment gear. Once your Roku box is connected to your TV and internet, go to the channel store on the home menu of the Roku box. Enter WHPR TV in the search engine and add it to your channels. That's it. That's all you need to get the best in entertainment, news, and talk, no matter where you are. Roku brings all of your favorites to your TV. Netflix, Hulu Plus, Crackle, HBO Go, and now WHPR TV, Detroit Live.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV, Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Billy E. Jones, Talk B. Jones. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on WHPR TV 33 Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
have to go anywhere because this is the Talk B. Jones, and
Jones Show, and I am Billy E. Jones. And again, today, family, want to let you know, talk to your friends, let them know that we want to love, we want to share, and we want to make sure that you like the program as well. Share it. Again, I want to tell you to share this program because, again, You got problems. You want to share the love. You want to show folks how they can get their financial situations in order. Today, family, we have the Finance Doctor. That's right, the Finance Doctor. Again, the program, we're on every Wednesday live from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. We have another broadcast on Sundays from 4 to 5 on 15.2. But right now, we want to bring in the Finance Doctor on Talk Beat Jones. Finance Doctor, are you there?
Yes, we're here.
Doctor, you were just speaking about how this financial situation work with the purchasing of cars, the interest, etc. Can you revisit that situation for us, please?
Yes, we can. We are dealing with loans review, and every person who has loans out there, I would encourage them to look at their contract and see exactly what their interest rates are on that contract, and to set a goal that the next time you make an automobile purchase, a personal loan, a home loan, to pay close attention to your interest rates, because your interest rate will determine your monthly payment. Let me repeat that again.
Yes, please.
Your interest rates on your automobile, your home loan, your personal loans, your business loan will determine your monthly payment, and you want the best rate possible to save you money. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And on that example I gave about that car, you can pick the one that has already depreciated and save that $10,000, because if you get the one new, that $10,000 will be tacked on for another 24 months, paying off that first $10,000. Does that make sense, Billy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
That's the savings, but that's a wise consumer. Now let's talk about income review. We encourage you to have more than one stream of income, if possible. More than one stream of income. Now let me give you a story, another story, not the one about the eagle I want to tell at the end of the program.
Yes, sir.
But in 1960, there was one income coming into the household, and that income was the breadwinner was the father. In 1960.
Yes.
In 1970, the father, because of inflation, the father got a part-time job. That means that he was doing 40 hours one place and 20 hours somewhere else. That was 60 hours that he was bringing food. The mother was in the home. That's in the 1960s and 70s. She had not left the home yet. In 1980, the mother left the home and she took a part-time job. Listen at me close on this analogy. I took a part-time job, so the father had a full-time, he had a part-time, and the mother had a part-time to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
In 1990, the mother, she got a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
The father had a part-time, a full-time, part-time, and the mother had a full-time to make ends meet because of inflation.
Right.
In 2000, the father took another full-time job. That means that he had 80 hours coming in, and the mother had 40 hours to stay above the inflation.
Mm.
Now, something happened in 2010. As a matter of fact, it started before then.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to the family, whereas that you lost the father as the breadwinner, because right now 6% of all households in the black community are headed by who?
Women.
Black female.
Mm-hmm.
So where that in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you had the support, and boy, I can feel it in this phone, how people I feel it.
Yes.
Where they had that income coming in from the father to help the quality of life, they don't have that anymore.
Okay.
So you have one income now coming in to take care of the family because the father's absent.
Right.
How in the world can that be? She cannot, she wasn't made to try to take on those responsibilities.
So you're going back to the one stream of income the way it used to be back when the male was the breadwinner.
That is correct. But look at the difference in inflation.
Yes.
And that's why the mother began to leave the home to assist the husband because of the increase in inflation, and then you got to 2010 or 2000, and then, and we'll talk about that on another program, what happened to the father in the home.
Yes.
We'll deal with that later.
Okay.
But now we're looking at it's just one breadwinner.
Yes.
Back to what it was back in the 60s.
Right. Right.
When the father worked, now you have just the mother working.
Yes.
And the way she tried to have that extra income coming in, if there are any kids, she tried to get child support to make up for the deficit, but she can't make up for not having a man in the house.
Right.
It cannot. So that's income. Let's talk about budget. That's
Budget.
the money coming in. So what you're going to do with this money after you get it? You need to have a budget. You need to have a budget.
Mm-hmm.
We have three budget that we recommend. You have a 10-90, a 20-80, a 30-70 budget. Now let me explain those budgets. You have one item above the line that you designate that you want to contribute to each and every pay period. And then below the line, that's 10% of your income that you make. This is net. Now, net is what you bring home, not gross.
Yes.
Net is spendable money. You want to designate 10%. In some cases, on one of the budget sheets, you say, I want to give 10 cents to God and take 90% to pay my bills with. That's the tithing principle.
Okay.
And under the 20-80, you want to give 10% to God and 10% to investment. And then pay bills out of the 80. Follow me?
Yes, sir.
And under the 30%, you'll do 10% to God, 10% to investment, 10% to family, and pay the bill with 70%. And you also will do a 40.
Right.
You have full above the line, and then you have the rest of the payout of money coming in. That's a budget. And you're supposed to do this every 30 days on your budget to check and see exactly where you are.
Wow.
And set goals to pay down debt to increase your financial situation. And we're going to talk about investment in a few minutes.
Okay.
But that's the budget. Always do a budget. Know what's coming in and what's going out. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Insurance. Automobile insurance. Homeowners insurance. Life insurance. Disability insurance. Flood insurance. Those are most of the insurances that you need to try to maintain if you can. Automobile insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, and flood insurance if you live in a flood area. Now, I know that it is a task to be able to try to keep all those insurances.
Yes, sir.
I know it is a challenge. And this life insurance situation, we have a lot of people who are passing away that fail to have life insurance.
Yes.
They just don't have it for whatever reason. And a lot of cases, what they are doing now, they instead of doing a full blown out funeral, they do cremation.
Mm-hmm.
Cremation is cheaper than a full. I think the average funeral now between $5,000 to $8,000 to bury someone now.
Yes.
And I heard that they was going up on cremations because the market has dictated that they could. But when you fail to have life insurance, it creates a problem for any family member when that person passes away with no insurance. So do a complete review of your insurances: automobile, home, life, disability, and flood insurance if you live in a floodplain area. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Investment review. To see whether or not you have an investment program, did not put an investment program in place.
Mm-hmm.
Short-term, long-term investment. If you're employed, that you can have a 401k, I urge you to participate in it as soon as possible. Sign up for the 401k with matching coming from your employer. You will never regret it.
Mm.
Every day you fail to sign up you lose that money. You cannot regain it. It's gone forever.
Yes, yes.
So I encourage you to do a 401k to start a small investment program. You can do that through apps now. You can do the real estate through apps. You can do crypto. You can do stocks. You can do bonds. You can do all now by setting up to an investment account. And that can be done with apps as well to begin to grow your finance. Retirement review. The best time for you to start preparing for retirement is when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and begin to set aside money for the old you, is what we used to call it. The young you set aside money for the old you.
Yes.
And the 401ks and investment program will ensure that you will have a sufficient income when you get old, that you don't have to decrease the quality of your life.
Well, Finance Doctor, quickly, is there any hope for persons that have passed or have gone into the senior state of their life to start doing some type of investment program for themselves?
Well, yeah, you can, but your time frame, because of your age, will not produce the kind of returns that would truly make a difference. For instance, unless you get some good advice from a financial planner to do some rapid growth. And there are some areas out there that you can get rapid growth, but I'm not going to share. I have it on my list. Well, I'm going to let the Lord. He put it on the list, so I might talk about it. It's an interesting program. It's an investment program that we put together that he instructed us to do, and I might talk about that. That will aid the seniors.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, here, from the Finance Doctor, real quickly. If after the show or during the show later, they want to call that 1-877-446-1664, would they be able to get some assistance or some more advice?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that number, once again, family, to call is 1-877-446-1664, and let them know that you heard about the Finance Doctor, you listened to the Finance Doctor, or you were referred from a friend who listened to the program on the Talk B. Jones, Billy Jones show. Thank you, Doctor.
Appreciate that. Yeah, they can call that number, and we'd be more than happy to talk with them to find out what they're dealing with, that situation, and put together a program to address it. Now, we're going to go ahead and come to an end of our time. Is getting close. Retirement review, making sure you have sufficient retirement in place. Personal review, check your attitudes and your habits, would be under that. Business review, estate. I want to talk about this last one. This is student loans.
Okay. Yes.
I want to talk about student loans, and then I'm going to finish up with this thing that we are working on. We're going to go ahead and put that out there. The Spirit is telling me to do it, so we're going to do it as a point of encouragement. I think it's a seed that the Lord wants to plant. But let's talk about student loans. Most people who go to school, they generate loans. Loans are out there. And there's a street belief that if they do deferment on those student loans and do forbearance, that will be the way to address student loans. I disagree. I disagree totally.
Okay.
And here's the reason why I disagree. If you go to school and get an education on student loans, and you graduate with a degree, and you take that degree and you offer that degree to a future employer to pay you according to that degree, I think you should take 10% of that job income to pay back your student loan.
Now, why would
That's
that
what
be?
the finance doctor recommends.
Why would they be
And
Finance
the reason
Doctor?
I recommend, I have clients who has finished school 20 years ago, and guess what? They still have student loans unpaid.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the majority of the outstanding student loans are old student loans for people who have graduated years ago, because they felt as though the deferment and the forbearance would be sufficient, but it's not sufficient. The finance doctor encourages you to treat a student loan balance just like you would an automobile balance at 0%.
Okay.
Meaning that you'll take your balance that you owe, whether it be $10,000, whether it be $20,000, or $30,000, divide it into the number of months, and then make that payment and be finished with it.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the way you do student loan. You don't let those student loans linger out there for 5, 10, 15, because the interest on those are low, but you still will increase the amount that you borrow if you don't take no action on it.
Let me
encourage you.
Let me testify. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the way. This is becoming financially responsible and getting your financial house in order. These tidbits.
Mm-hmm.
These tidbits can make all the difference in your your budget, your income stream, your loans, your credit, your insurances, your investment, retirement, your student loan. And this is why we do what we do.
Yes.
To be able to shed some light onto the things that you should do and the things that you should not do. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let me finish with this. We're about coming to an end. Let me share these points with you. These are 7 steps to improve your credit score. Check and correct your credit report regularly. We talked about that earlier. If possible, pay all of your bills on time. And there's a reason for that. If you go over 30 days, that will decrease your credit score, because that will be a late payment. If you go over the due date, that will decrease your credit score.
Okay.
Keep balances on all your credit cards. This sheet says half, but we've said most of the time 30%. What happens if you have just a $1,000 credit card and you have a balance of $900, and instead of having one at $300, it's going to take away from your scores by having that high balance on the reporting, and then you having a $300 balance. A $300 balance on a $1,000 card will add points to your scores, or it will not take away. Anything above that will take away from your score.
Okay.
So keep your balance. Now, there is a reason for that. Let me give you an example. When credit cards first came out, the credit cards back in the 60s and 70s was for elite people.
Mm-hmm.
And what they done, they paid their entire balance off every 30 days.
Right.
That's the way credit card was originally was supposed to be used for. They paid, and some people still pay it every 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who cannot pay it off for 30 days, and if you take the balance higher than 30%, it's going to pull your score down and not going to give you the maximum score. So what we advise, if you're trying to do some financing on a home, on an automobile, and you want the highest score possible, would be pay attention to your balance on your credit card to get those down and allow that score to go up because of the balance is low.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So watch those balances. Give yourself time. We can help with we have a credit rehab program. We have a student loan rehab program. We have a mortgage rehab program. We have several rehabs, meaning that we will look into the area of improvement based on your financial situation through our program, and we can help you to improve in all of those areas. And here's another one, too, I want to advise you of.
Yes, sir.
Avoid excess inquiry. We're going to close with this. I'm not going to get a chance to talk about these other 2 programs on the financial and senior program.
We have at least about 6-7 more minutes, sir.
We do. Okay,
yes,
I might get to it. But let me tell you what I want you to do. The inquiries, don't let any and everybody pull your credit. Don't just give your Social Security number out to anybody to pull your credit, because they show as an inquiry. And inquiries only count for 10% of your score, But if you have what we call excessive inquiry, it also will pull your score down.
Mm-hmm.
So just don't allow people to pull your score down. Let me give you another tip.
Okay.
When you go to an automobile dealer, if you're going to use a dealer instead of going to your bank or your credit union to get your finances, they're going to shotgun. That's a term that we use. They're going to shotgun your application. Do you know what shotgunning means, Bill?
Help us to understand that, Doctor.
All right, shotgunning meaning that, and it's not a bad thing, but it will affect your inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
If they have, when they take your application to apply for automobile, and they send that application out, they might send that application out to 5 to 10 lenders that will pull your credit and cause a pull to show on your credit report as an inquiry.
Got it.
And the reason they are doing that, to a certain extent, they're trying to get you the best deal or just trying to get you approved.
Mm-hmm.
If they send it to one dealer and not have a multiple dealer, your chances decrease in terms of getting approved. If you have a questionable application, maybe your scores might not be where they should be.
Yes.
But if you control that, you can avoid all of that by going to your primary institution once you get your scores and everything in order.
Well, these companies that are saying even we finance everyone, even with bankruptcies, et cetera, et cetera. So if I'm trying to rebuild or trying to get my credit score up, and I go and try to buy a car, and I go into one of those places that says we can finance everyone, those places are doing what you call shotgunning my application?
Yes, I'm almost 100% sure that they have multiple lenders that will look at that application and to get it approved. 100% sure that's what they do.
And one of the effects of that is, because of that, it may potentially lower my credit score.
That is right, because of the inquiry.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
you can if you check your credit report regularly, like we encourage you to do, if you see inquiries on there, and learn how to read your credit report. They're not hard. You have to spend some time recognizing all of your transactions, your information on your file, and when you get down to the inquiry, it will show every company that you applied for credit under that list.
Okay.
And it's a good thing. They only stay on it for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They drop off every 2 years. The inquiry does, but be a wise steward of your credit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not to let any and everybody look into your credit file. Protect your credit is my word. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to finish up with this. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put this out there. This whole thing that we are dealing with financially in this country and poverty. And I started to do the demographics on Detroit early this morning to see exactly what the poverty rate was in Detroit. I'll probably do it this afternoon.
Okay.
Because of the last 4 years inflation, there's some hard bankruptcies are up, foreclosures are up, repossessions are up, because of the cost of living has gone up. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
And there's some things that we're going to have to do. And I'm going to share this with you. This is some of the programs that we have that we're working on. I have to be transparent based on what the Lord has given.
Yes.
Under our freedom plan, California has a bill. California has a bill on the table where its reparation is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be. Are you familiar with that reparation program coming out of California?
Actually, I have a person who's part of that committee that calls into my show, Mr. Leo Brazil. So I'm not aware of the extent in terms of where it's located, but I do know there is a reparation program on the books at this point. Okay.
All right. Now let me tell you what we are looking at in trying to increase the pocketbooks of Americans, especially African Americans, because of slavery. We could really have a long talk about the impacts of slavery, even today, in terms of our pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
There was no wealth that was transferred for about 300 years in the black community. Now, some said that the Reconstruction was a sort of reparation And to a certain extent, I agree with that. It's been part of it.
Woo, well, Finance Doctor, here's where we are right now. We're at the actual ending of our program, but I need to ask you this question real quickly.
Sure.
Can you promise, and will you make the commitment, sir, for all of our listeners around the world who's going to tell their friends about you, the Finance Doctor, can we ask you to come back next month at least to pick up and help us to get our recheck us and give us some more education about our finances?
Absolutely. Be more than happy to do so.
Because my phone has been going on and on and on about people trying to get in. So we want to let them know we got you coming back. But we have to get ready to close out. Is there any closing remarks you'd like to make to our audience before we let you go, sir?
We want to thank, Billy, we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come to share this information with you. We thank God for the information, and we'd like to thank TV 33 for R.J. Watson for having us to be on the air.
Yes, sir.
For all your listeners, whatever we can do to help you in your financial situation, all you have to do is just reach out to us and give us a call.
We love you. We appreciate you, and we'll look forward to having you back next month. This has been the Talk Beat Jones with the Finance Doctor. Remember that we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 to 11, and also on broadcasting on Sundays from 4 to 5 on 15.2. Share it. TV 33, WHPR, Billy E. Jones saying we love you. We'll be back shortly. Bye now.
Have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and
I